This is the 1 minute Raw recap with the Macho Man Eric Jackson.
And Kay.
And we are here to tell you about Nikki's Bar, which shows Raw every Monday.
Every Monday!
We had a bunch of British cats, Italian cats, even a cat from Hong Kong, all here to see the granddaddy of them all. Can you dig it, brother? We're talking about WrestleMania! And this was the Raw before it.
Kicking off tonight's Monday Night Raw, Sting.
Sting, a WWC classic, and one of the finest wrestlers that's ever lived. I mean, we all know that. We all had rat tails. We know how we feel.
Sting comes out and says that he's happy to be at WWE, and
good.
You know, then Stephanie McMahon comes out and says some mean stuff.
Like she does.
She does.
Great shoes.
Yeah.
Good dress.
Uh-huh.
Should have been on another woman.
Oh, I thought you looked great, Stephanie McMahon. Then Triple H came out and loosened his tie. Stephanie handed him a sledgehammer. Sting was like, "Come in the ring," and Triple H backed away like a pussy. Yeah. So next we have Dean Ambrose and R-Truth versus Stardust and Luke Harper.
Always happy to, I'm glad the IC title scene is really flaring up. I mean, there's not a lot going on in the world title scene, if you know. But I'm glad to see, the IC title is a personal favorite of me, the Macho Man Eric Jackson. I also carry it around. It's not here right now. And but you can also see it in Nikki's Bar every Monday. And we don't fight for it at Nikki's Bar. We just watch Raw. And however, we were all pleased. Everyone at Nikki's Bar was pleased to see R-Truth. And it's really, why has this man not been wrestling?
R-Truth and Dean Ambrose won the match, although I was rooting for Stardust and Luke Harper.
And I like Stardust, I really do. But literally R-Truth, there's no reason to not have this man wrestling. He is liquid gold in the ring. He can make any match good. He is literally a rapping Bret Hart. Just leave him in the ring. He should be wrestling 24/7. Every show. All of them.
I really like what they're doing with Freaky Stardust. Next we have I called it a royal clusterfuck. It was The Miz, Damian Sandow, and Adam Rose, and the Ascension versus Ryback, Zack Ryder, Titus O'Neil, Darren Young, and Eric Rowan.
And so, no days off. Darren Young totally has a fear of the beard thing going on, or at least he's trying. But I mean, he looks good. I'd really like to see him wrestle in matches that mattered. But yeah, this was
The winners were Ryback, the primetime players, Eric Rowan, and Zack Ryder.
It was like a Survivor Series match before WrestleMania. It saddened me profoundly. Essentially, the Andre the Giant Memorial Cup has essentially been declared the least good thing that kind of. It's essentially getting a Grammy for Artist of the Year. Nothing else is ever going to happen to you. Your career is over now. So Cesaro got it last year, and now his career is over. And whoever wins the Andre the Giant Memorial Cup this year will never have another thing in wrestling happen to them. The Macho Man Eric Jackson is calling this now because there is no God.
Go to the tape, people! Next we have Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins and his security team. Of course, Randy the Viper of all abs. He won. It's true.
The match was great. I'm worried about Seth. He's not on the website. He's not on any of the promotional materials. If I didn't know any better, I'd say he's about to get future endeavored. Except for the fact that he does all the wrestling on this show. I don't quite get. It's almost like he made this dumb deal where he's like, okay, I don't want any of the credit, but I want to do all the wrestling. And they looked at him for a long minute and were like, Seth, we would never stop you. You're the greatest wrestler. We want you to do all the we're going to keep you off all the promotional material.
That's right. No posters
How
for Seth
dare
Rollins.
they? Becky, get in here right now. You're the graphic designer. You put Seth on this poster, you're fired. It's I'm sick of you. It's literally, for all I know, Seth, he tried to marry 2 women. Maybe he has no idea about how any of this works. Maybe he thinks he's The Rock and getting paid like he's well, I don't know, me.
So next we have a Divas match that we've seen before, but keeps kind of getting better and better, which is Nikki Bella and Paige, and with Nikki Bella retaining her Divas Championship title. AJ Lee looks on, somewhat frustrated. They set the stage for like an AJ Paige,
Yeah,
break
yeah.
up again.
They restarted the band. All the bands. You remember all the bands? The band where AJ Lee and Paige fight, but then they also hate like the Bellas. You remember
I
this?
bet there's gonna be some weird lesbian tension.
Do you remember this in high school? I remember this in high school, and not from wrestling, just from interacting with the people I went to high school with.
I found it boring in high school also.
Literally, the punk chick and the goth chick, they can't agree on much, but they can agree on how much they don't like the Bellas, who are
We
the
just
prep
hate
chicks.
pretty girls.
The prep chicks on the volleyball team or whatever. They do squats all the time. We hate them. And like, so anyway, that's the story, and that really does make sense for the kind of demo they're trying to reach. I can't argue that they're trying to sell a simple story. I just don't understand why you have to do it bereft of as much wrestling as possible. And I'm not saying they do a bad job at wrestling. I'm not saying that they're bad wrestlers. I'm just saying that maybe you try to pack in as much as not wrestling as possible when it comes to this specific match.
Yeah. Hey, creative department, like real storylines. Okay.
Like a real fight that's not about a man or who's bumped into who. Like something.
So next we get Tyson Kidd and Natalya versus El Torito and Los Matadores. Let me just take a minute to be offended that a woman equals a midget in this
Whoa.
wrestling match.
First of all, little person. Second, anybody that's been in the Hart family dungeon can take a fucking man in a bull costume, grown man, little person, any day of the week. Hart family dungeon. Shit means shit. You bought Stu Hart's promotion and you knew what that meant, and you're fucking it up. And everybody knows it and everybody smells it. Natalya could kill grown men with her bare hands.
Oh my
for
God.
no reason.
And
on menopause.
Her outfits are like super amazing. She looks like an evil supervillain. Make this woman into an evil supervillain. She's like a real wrestler. Don't have her fighting little people in bull costumes. Like, just like pull that sexist rug right out from under us. Shenanigans. Rusev v. Jack Swagger winner. Rusev tried to kill Jack Swagger. John Cena then tried to save Jack Swagger, and then Rusev tried to kill John Cena.
And so, like, I don't know if you're keeping score, but Jack Swagger has literally never won against us. I mean, at what point in professional wrestling do you enact a rule to save a man from wrestling another man? Like, it's just no, you're not allowed anymore, Jack. Jack, like, literally, like, we're gonna resurrect Jack Tunney from the dead to enact a rule that you're not allowed to wrestle Rusev anymore because literally this is like your 12th time losing to this man.
And Rusev is gonna kill you.
I mean, literally he's gonna drag your dead body home to your mama and just be like, "This is American boy." So anyway, I hope John Cena gets a Rocky entrance. I hope Rusev gets a Rocky 4 entrance. I hope all the good things in the world happen. I will be at WrestleMania. We will be at WrestleMania. We are really optimistic and like again, we can't thank you so much for coming to Nikki's Bar. We can't thank you so much for coming to the Bay Area to see. I know to see WrestleMania and like also watching the 1 minute Raw recap.
1 minute Raw recap.
And so now I believe we're at the
Daniel Bryan versus Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler pinning Daniel Bryan for the win. I like Dolph Ziggler. I was the only person at the bar that was excited that he won.
Isn't it a funny universe? Remember, like, and I'm going to talk to some old wrestling fans here. Remember, like, 3 or 4 years ago when we wanted Dolph Ziggler to win all the matches? And we were like, they're fucking up, man. They don't understand. Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler, man, he's the shit. He's going to be... And so now we've created this universe where the WWE is happier with Dolph Ziggler winning than Daniel Bryan. That's literally what we're looking at. They're trying to bury Daniel Bryan so hard, and for legitimate reasons. He might not actually be able to wrestle. I don't know if anyone's looked at this man move. He ain't moving like Dolph Ziggler. That's for fucking sure. He ain't moving like he was before that surgery. He's To be fair, he ain't moving like Brie Bella. So I just
His neck is broken.
yeah. And so I think he's on the edge route to Movieville, but that upsets people, and I understand that. However, if that's not the case, then obviously something terrible has happened to his Hey Daniel Bryan. Otherwise, he has to have like a steel pen in his neck that prevents him from all fucking participation in life.
Finishing off tonight's Raw, we have Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman, his name is Paul Heyman, and he did come out and introduce Brock, the champion of all things, Lesnar. Brock stood there, looked smug. Roman Reigns came out. They had like a little face-to-face. Roman grabbed the belt from Brock, and Brock couldn't take it back from him.
They both tugged at it masculinely.
It was. I felt like both those men could have been much more intimidating if they had not been like trying to like.
Do you remember? And I don't even have a little sister, but do you remember wrestling fans at home fighting your little sister over something and realizing that just because she was a year older than you, she could kind of like she had the leverage, you know. Just she's like a foot taller, curls, you know. What are you gonna do? But at the same time, like God damn it, you want this clack toy or the fucking Ren and Stimpy action figure or whatever you're fighting over because it's the '90s and nothing's good. And like, but like literally that's what this looked like. It looked like you're just sort of no, I obviously can keep this from you. Like like no, you get to hold the end of this, like, but we both know I'm taking like, and so grown men hit each other.
Yeah, like
when angry.
As somebody who's
as
like
an act of violence.
excited about watching one man eat the Samoan man's face. Like, the little, like, tug of war just made me feel like, oh, these little boys are gonna, like, have a little tussle, and I'm gonna go do a grown-up thing.
Yeah, it was not, like, that's not really how you sell, like, nobody bled, there was no gnashing of teeth. I mean, literally, it was a tug of war over an object that's poorly shaped.
And honestly, I think the only reason Brock couldn't take it back was because it was hard to get a grip on that slippery gold surface.
Yeah, I think they were both having trouble with the entire concept. It really goes back to the writers fucking the duck and being not very observant.
Let me ask you, Bob, do you think this was a creative no selling the talent?
I think it's more of a thing where they wanted in their heads it looked like a comic book like poster, like the cover
like
of
an anime,
like the cover of a comic book were just two men locked in eternal combat over an object of supreme importance. Their muscles sinewy, their minds locked into eternal battle. And instead, it looked like two people fighting over the last baguette at a grocery store. But neither of them want to break the baguette, so... And they both can't tell their boyfriends they can't find a baguette because their boyfriend is at home waiting to make pasta and knows there are baguettes.
Their boyfriend's what, like the Ultimate Warrior?
Yo, I don't know who those guys are fucking, but they're definitely acting like they're fucking some dudes because like they can't even fight over a belt.
This was your like the gayest 1 minute Raw recap ever.
I mean, literally, I would have preferred if they'd made out because at least.
Oh my god, that would have been surprising as hell.
There would have been some tension, like there would have been some passion.
I would have been surprised.
Like they would have worked for it at least. Like, goddamn, this thing was just like watching two grown men just hold an object until they're told not to.
This thing, though, what is this thing? It's the.
Oh.
This thing is the 1 minute. It's the.
The WWE Championship.
No, I hate you. It's the 1 minute Raw recap.
Oh, we are the 1 minute Raw recap. 1 minute Raw recap.